My name is Corey Crick, and I have a problem. Not a serious problem, not like, I'm not an alcoholic or a druggie or anything. I'm a recovering car junkie. Ever since I turned 16, I bought my first pickup. I've always been fascinated about cars. New cars, old cars, preferably old cars. And I'm far from recovery. Last week I brought back to life a 1969 F100 Camper Special with the 390 in it. And with the 390 in it, and I'd like to brag because I think I got it running pretty good. Had a 350 crate motor for a Chevy in the bed of the truck. Took off from a stop sign and didn't push the gas all the way to the floor, and the motor flew out of the bed of the pickup onto the ground. That was fun picking up. But today I'm here to talk about Henry Ford. A lot of people think of him as the person to build the first automobile. That is actually wrong. He was the one to invent assembly line. When I first started out, I thought the same thing. And then later on, I found out that there was a lot of information on the web that said that he wasn't. The website for American Association of Museums, which was made in 2003, says that he was the oldest of 6 brothers, and that he grew up on a farm just like people back in the day. He would go to school in a one-room school, come home and do chores. Well, later he grew tired and started to hate the farm life, and later started showing interest in mechanical things. He would always take things apart and put them back together just to see how they'd work. And neighbors found out that he liked to do this, and he was pretty good at it, and they would take their watches or something that would break, and they'd bring them over there to him, and he would send them back fixed. And that was a hobby of his. On About.com, Jennifer Rosenberg has an article on Henry in her article about his childhood. It says that Henry lost his mom at age 12. Henry then she lost his mom at age 12 due to childbirth. From that point on, Henry has been quoted to has been known to quote his mom's sayings and try to live the way that he thought that she would want him to live. At age 16, Henry moved out and went to a nearby town and worked as a machinist apprentice. He worked there for 3 years, and during that 3 years, he would come home and help his dad on the farm. And if there was a broken machine there, like farm equipment, he would fix it. And later, Henry's continued his interest in mechanical things and set it as a goal to make an assembly line to where cars are more affordable to the average person. Up till this point, it's the only people that were able to afford an automobile was the people that had a lot of money. This was because everything was done by hand, and on average there was, depending on the make of vehicle, they had anywhere between 400 and 200 per year. By the time Henry got done with his assembly line, by the time he got done with the assembly line and they stopped making the Model T, he had it going so fast that there was a car coming off the line every 24 seconds. And before he was on his goal to invent the assembly line, he got the name Crazy Henry because he would go home and he was there every moment in the backyard of in the shed, building a Model T and figuring out how to make it quicker and easier for people to get a hold of that don't make as much money. And he got the name, I got the information for his nickname off of John Wiley on Wiley.com. And most people think of Henry as the person to make the first automobile. That's wrong. Without Henry, what would the world be like today? Think of how the population would be. Think of how the population would be. The only good thing that would have came out of it is it'd be easier for, the only good thing that would be able to come out of it would be the fact that you wouldn't have to see your relatives as often.
All right, who's next?